Shalom. So we're continuing to learn about the Yesod, the foundation, and Yosef HaTzadik, Joseph, is correlating to the sphere of foundation of Yesod, and it says that Yosef is the ruler in Egypt. He's the ruler, and the Yesod, the foundation, is splits up into and goes into the 10 spherots of the world of creation, of Bria. And it rides on the Malchut, the Yesod. The foundation is riding on the kingdom and the Malchut. And it gives it the flow of life, of energy, and it gives it the flow of the 100 blessings. So the 100 blessings is, like we said, it's 10 times 10, the 10 sferot times the 10 letters of each of the sferot. That's 100, and that correlates to the 100 blessings. Like we say 100 blessings every day in the prayers and before we eat food, and all the blessings together, it comes out to at least 100 blessings a day. And so this is the blessing, these 100 blessings, that's what the Yesod, the foundation, brings down to the Malchut, to the kingdom. So the Yesod, the foundation, is the seal of the ring. So like you have a ring, and on the ring you have a seal to seal documents. Like a king seals the documents with the ring. And all the seals of the six corners, which is these six sferot, from HaZiv VehaZohar, Netzach, Hod, Yesod. So those six sferot, they have these seals, and these are the six rings, and they join together, these six rings, and become one, like one ring. And these are the six combinations of God's name, Yud He Vav. So Yud He Vav is the 10th letter, the 5th letter, and the 6th letter is Yud He Vav. And you can arrange them with Siruf, is like an arrangement. You can do it Yud He Vav, you can do He Yud Vav, you can do Yud Vav He. There's 6 ways you can arrange the letters in a different order. So if you take all those 6 different arrangements, that means the 6 different names, because each arrangement is a different name. The 6 of them together, that's 18 letters, because it's 6 times 3. And these are the 18 letters which are in Yesod. So in Yesod, in foundation, you have these 18 letters. And the Yesod, the foundation, and his wife, which is Malchut. So the Malchut is like the wife of the Yesod. So the Yesod and the foundation, and the foundation and the kingdom, the Yesod and the Malchut, they are one, and they're included together, and they're considered to be one. So now he's going to review all of the 10 sferot. So the 10 sferot, these are divided up into 10 sferot, and they're divided into the 10 letters, these high letters of the holy name of God, Havaya, Yud He Vav He. So how is it 10 letters? So when you do the milui, when you fill them up, that means you spell out the letters. So Yud of Yud He Vav He, you can spell it Yud Vav Dalid. So the first letter of God's name, Yud, is spelled Yud Vav Dalid, which is the 10th letter, the 6th letter, and the 4th letter. That's how you spell Yud. Then He, which is the 5th letter of the alphabet, it's spelled He Aleph, which is the 5th letter and the 1st letter. Then you have Vav. Vav is the 6th letter. The way you spell it is Vav Aleph Vav, which is the 6th letter, the 1st letter, and then the 6th letter. And then again you have He again, and He is the 5th letter, and it's spelled He Aleph, which is the 5th letter and the 1st letter. So if you count them, Yud is 3 letters, He is 2 letters, Vav is 3 letters, and He is 2 letters. Altogether, that's 10 letters. So these are the 10 letters which correspond to the 10 sphirot. And it's also correlating that God created the world with 10 sayings, 10 utterances. So these are 10 verses in the Torah where it says, God said, let there be light. God said, let there be animals, right? So all these things that he said, that's 10 utterances, and those correlate to the 10 letters in this, in God's name, the way it's spelled out, and also the 10 sphirot. So, and the Creator brought out the strength of these 10 letters, of the 10 sphirot, through these 10 sayings, these 10 utterances, the verses that he said when he created the world. So what does that mean? That the 10 sphirot of the world of Bria, like we said, the world of creation. So the world of creation actually means from the same word of Bereshit, which is God created the world. And so these 10 sphirot, how were the 10 sphirot created? They were created from the strength from the 10 sphirot of Atzilut. So all of these 10 sphirot are in the world of Bria, and above the world of Bria, of creation, above the world of creation, there's a world of Atzilut, which is emanation. And there are also 10 sphirot up above there, and those bring the strength down to bring out into the world, more into the physical world. I mean, relative to emanation, this is a lot more physical, even though it's still a completely spiritual world. So these 10 sphirot from in the world of Bria, of creation, they are created from the strength of the 10 sphirot from the higher world of emanation, of Atzilut. Because every sphera gave its strength into the Malchut. So every time you have a world, you have the 10 sphirot. They all bring their strength into the Malchut, into the lowest sphera. And then it brings all that strength to the world below it. So you have Atzilut bringing everything into Malchut and into kingdom, and that brings the strength. That's basically the way the strength is brought and creates the world below it, and then the same thing afterwards to the next world below that. That would be Atzilut, Bria, Yetzira, and Asiya, which is emanation, creation, formation, and action. Those are the four worlds. Okay. So before the Atzilut, so we have Bria, then you have above that Atzilut, emanation, and then above that his name was, his name was hidden. Okay, God's name was hidden, and it wasn't revealed like it is now. But we did have just the light coming down. 10 on 5. What does 10 on 5 means? It means from the Yud of Chachma. Chachma, wisdom, corresponds to the letter Yud, which is the 10th letter, so that's 10. So then we have Bina, which is Hey, which is the 5th letter, which is 5. So we'd have light coming from here to here. It would come down from the Chachma to the Bina, from the wisdom to the understanding. So you have Yud and Hey. You have the light of the Yud, of the Chachma, sending its light to the Hey, to the Bina, to the understanding. And then afterwards, Chamesh al Eser, which is 5 on 10. What is a 5 on 10? That means you have a light coming down from wisdom to understanding, and then you have a returning light. It, like a reflection, bounces back, right? The returning light goes back from the Bina, from the understanding to the wisdom. It goes back up. So that's the 5 on the 10. That means it's a 5 sending back the light to the 10, the Hey sending to the Yud, the Bina sending back the light to the Chachma. The wisdom to the understanding is bouncing the light back to the wisdom. So then you have, that's a secret of Hey Yud. So we had Yud Hey, and then we had Hey Yud. So what does that make? Okay. So that makes like a sort of like a name of God, but it's like hidden. Okay, but then we have more. It's the same way on the lower sphirot over here. We have Chesed, Gvura, Tiferes, Netzach, Hod, Yisod, and Malchut. So we have these 6 corners, right? So we have these 6 corners. They have light. These 6 corners of Zeran Pin are on 5. So what are the 5? What is the Hey? So we have 6 Sfirot, and the Malchut is also, the kingdom is the letter Hey, the 5th letter of the alphabet, of Aleph Bet. Okay, so what is that? That's Vav, Hey, that's 6, 5. The 6th letter and the 5th letter is Vav Hey, right? So, and afterwards, you have the light that came down here to the Hey. It also reflects back up in the same way, and then you have Vav Hey. You have Hey Vav. So you have Vav Hey. You have the Vav coming down to the Hey, and then you have the Hey going back to the Vav. So you have another set of letters, Vav Hey and Hey Vav. So that's when the light goes back to its source. Goes up back to its source. So but afterwards, the light spreads out, and you have, and the name of God is spread out in the secret of Yud Hey Vav Hey. So Yud Hey Vav Hey is the four letters of God's name. So we have Yud Hey, and here we have Vav Hey. Remember, this is 10, 5, 6, 5. That's Yud Hey Vav Hey. That's like God's name, right? So this letter, these letters of Yud Hey Vav Hey went to spread out and went to bring down the light and spread out below to create the world. So what is it? We have the spreading of blessed is he, brichu, blessed is he is keter. That's up above over here, that's way up. And then brich shemei, so blessed is he, that's keter, that's a crown. And brich shemei, blessed is his name. Blessed is his name, that's the chokhmah, the wisdom, which is a like clothing for the keter. So we have keter is like this crown, this great light, and the wisdom is like clothing, like, like a person wears clothes, he wears a shirt, wears a coat. So it encloses the keter. The keter is like the will, right? It's the crown. It's like the will, and the wisdom enclose and is like a garment for the crown, for the wisdom, for the keter, which is the crown or the will. Because a name is like a clothing. Like when you call somebody by their name is like a garment for them. Okay? So we have blessed is he, and blessed is his name. So the name is wisdom, and when you're blessing God, that's like the crown, and blessed is his name, that's like the garment, which is the wisdom. And the crown, the keter, with its garment, with its clothing, that's a secret of the 10 sphirot, which spread out, mitpashtot, they spread out and basically spread downwards to give off the light to the worlds below, to create the worlds. So, and then we have Le'olam, forever, that's in Keter, in the crown. Le'olme, and for, like, Le'olam Le'olme means forever or ever, and it also means like to all the worlds. It's like the same root word, but it means like forever. So we have Le'olam, forever. That's the keter, that's a crown. Le'olme, and forever, right? So that's the Chachma and Bina, that's the wisdom and understanding. Olmin, or Olmaya, to forever and ever and ever, right? If you say that. So the third Olmin, the third Olmaya, which is the third forever, those are the 7 sphirot below it, which is Chesed, Gvura, Tiferes, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Malchut, loving kindness, strength, compassion, beauty, victory, and eternal, forever, splendor, foundation, and kingdom. So those are the 7. Those are the third Olmaya, forever and ever and ever. And these 10 sphirot, altogether there's 10 sphirot of Zeranpin, of the small face. They spread out and they're spread out from the Bina, the Bina, the understanding, which is called Olam. It's called a world, right? Which is, like we said, the same root as forever. So, so if we say Le'olam, if you say instead of for forever, you say like for the world, and for the worlds of all the worlds. So you're like three times worlds. So Bina, wisdom, not wisdom, understanding, that's called Olam. It's called a world. Or and in the Bina, that's in the understanding, this world, this was called world of understanding. So that's the root. This is the root of all these different levels, which are called worlds, right? So you have a lot of different levels. These levels, of these spiritual levels, are called worlds. So the root, they all come out from the Bina. Bina is called the source of all the worlds. Amen ve'amen, and amen, it should be this way. And the Ramak, he says, when he explained this Mishnah, he says that after all of this, I still don't, I'm still not satisfied with how I explained it, because all these secrets, they're just so deep. So it's like a deep waters, very deep. There's just so much more, and it goes so much deeper, So this is infinite knowledge, infinite deepness, and what we explained is just trying to explain it somehow, right? But really, it's so much more. Okay, so we finished this part, this Mishnah, and this chapter. And God willing, we'll be learning more next time.